The dashboard clock blinked 11:48 as I turned off the highway, headlights slicing through the empty stretch ahead. The night pressed close on both sides, just endless pine and gravel. I'd been doing this for years, driving out here after my late shift, just to breathe. I always took the same turn. 30 minutes out of town, a left onto a dirt road barely marked by a faded sign. The gravel crunched under my tires, and the trees seemed to lean in, swallowing the last of the highway noise. I felt lighter every time I came here, like the world couldn't reach me. There's a spot just half a mile down, an old circular pull-off, ringed by weeds and broken branches. I liked it because I could drive in, park, and when I was ready to leave, just circle out without backing up. It felt safe, or it used to. I killed the engine. The world outside settled into this hush, just the ticking of my cooling car, the distant rush of wind through pine needles. Sometimes I'd sit for hours, windows cracked, watching the stars, letting my mind wander. It was always quiet, always empty. That night, March air still sharp, I leaned back and let the cold creep in. The sky was clear, stars everywhere, no moon. My phone buzzed in the cup holder, but I ignored it. Out here, I didn't want to think about work or bills or anything, just the dark and the quiet. I was just starting to relax when a pair of headlights flickered between the trees, coming from deeper in the forest. A blue pickup rolled into view, tires grinding slow over gravel. I tensed up. I'd never seen anyone come from that direction this late, not ever. The truck slowed as it passed my spot, engine rumbling low. For a second, I tried to see the driver, just a shape behind glass, nothing clear. My heart thudded. Then the truck kept rolling, heading toward the main road. I told myself it was nothing. Probably just someone lost, or a hunter heading home. I always watched cars leave, just out of habit. From my spot, I could see the bend where the dirt road met the main road, a slice of highway through the trees. But this time, the blue truck's taillights never appeared at the intersection. The darkness just swallowed them. No engine noise, no lights, just gone. I sat there listening. The air felt heavier, like it was pressing in on my chest. I knew that road. There was only one place to pull off before the main road, a sharp curve, hidden by brush. I realized the truck must have stopped there, lights off, waiting. My hands shook as I reached for my keys. I tried to talk myself down. Maybe they were just checking their phone or fixing something. But I couldn't ignore the way my gut twisted. I started packing up, moving slow, every sound too loud in the quiet. Then, out of nowhere, headlights flashed through the trees, coming back down the dirt road straight toward me. My heart hammered so loud I thought it might drown out everything else. The truck rolled up, engine barely idling, and stopped in the middle of the road, right in front of my only way out. The passenger door swung open. A figure, tall, broad, jumped out and started walking straight toward my door. I saw something glint in his hand. I couldn't tell what it was, but the way he moved, it was too fast, too direct. He was close enough now that I could see his eyes. There was nothing warm in them, just this flat, cold stare. I felt something I'd never felt before. Not just fear, something worse. Like I was prey. Like he'd already decided what was going to happen. I slammed my car into reverse, tires spitting gravel. The figure lunged, but I swung the wheel hard, backing out of the circle. My hands slipped on the steering wheel, breath coming in short bursts. I didn't look back. I just floored it. praying nothing would block me from behind. I shot down the dirt road, headlights bouncing, every shadow jumping at me. My rearview mirror was just a blur, no sign of the truck yet, but I kept checking, over and over. I don't remember breathing, just the sound of gravel and my own pulse in my ears. When I finally reached the main road, I didn't slow down. I took the turn so fast my tires squealed, and I kept driving, faster than I ever had before. I didn't see any headlights behind me, but I couldn't make myself stop. Not until I was back under city lights. I know there were at least 2 people in that truck. Someone had to be driving while the other jumped out. I don't know what they wanted, but I know it wasn't good. I'm just glad my instincts kicked in before I froze. I never went back to that dirt road. Not once. I tried to tell myself it was just a fluke, just bad timing, but the memory still sits in my chest like a stone. The woods don't feel the same anymore, not after that night. Sometimes I still see that blue truck in my dreams, waiting in the curve, headlights off, just out of sight. I don't know what would have happened if I'd hesitated. I don't really want to find out. The road out to the city always felt endless. 2 hours of cracked pavement, fields gone gold, and the radio humming static between stations. I was 26, windows down, letting the air carry away the summer heat. My name's Maribel, and back then, I still believed in helping strangers. About halfway, I spotted someone walking along the shoulder, just a figure with a duffel bag, thumb out, head ducked like he was bracing against the wind. There weren't any other cars for miles. I slowed down without really thinking. I pulled over, engine idling. There was a moment where he just stood there, sizing up the car. I remember thinking maybe he's more nervous than I am. He leaned in, voice soft, asking if I was headed to the city. I nodded. He gave this shy, almost apologetic smile and climbed in, setting his bag behind the seat. His clothes were worn, but clean. He buckled up without a word. We drove in silence for a bit, the fields blurring past. Eventually, he asked about the weather, the drive, if I did this often. I told him I grew up nearby, and it was just habit to help when I could. He told me he'd been trying to get work in the city, but things were tight. He didn't say much about himself, but he listened, really listened, when I talked about my family or the old diner I missed from my childhood. We stopped at a little gas station diner about halfway. He hesitated when I offered to buy him dinner, looking embarrassed, but hunger won out. I told him not to worry. Everyone needs a break sometimes. Inside, the place was nearly empty. Booths lined the windows, rain tapping at the glass. We sat across from each other, steam curling from our coffee. He kept glancing at the counter, like he was waiting for someone to tell him to leave. He thanked me, voice barely above a whisper, saying he hadn't eaten a real meal in days. I shrugged it off, tried to keep things light, joked about the pie being more dangerous than the drive. After dinner, the rain let up. We got back in the car, and the rest of the drive felt almost easy, just headlights carving through the dark, city lights getting closer. He loosened up, told a story about his hometown, but never quite met my eyes. When we finally hit downtown, he asked to be dropped off near an old bus depot. He fumbled with his bag, thanked me again, and then, almost sheepish, asked if he could have my number. He said he'd like to check in, maybe let me know how things turned out. It felt harmless enough. I scribbled my number on a receipt, handed it over, and watched him disappear into the drizzle. I sat there for a while, engine idling, feeling like maybe I'd done something good. A week drifted by. I didn't think about him much, just another stranger passing through. Then, late one night, my phone rang. The number was unfamiliar, and for some reason my stomach knotted before I even picked up. I answered. There was a pause, just breathing on the other end. Then his voice, flat and urgent, cut through.
You should thank God you were raised so kind. When I got in your car, I wasn't planning to just get a ride. I was going to hurt you. At that diner, take your car, leave you in a ditch, but you were just so decent. I couldn't. Please, don't ever pick up another hitchhiker, not ever, okay?
The line went dead. I tried to call back, but all I got was the hollow echo of a payphone, coins dropping. No answer. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped the receiver. That night I barely slept. Every sound from the street, every passing car, every gust rattling the window felt sharper, closer, like someone was waiting just outside. It's been years. I still drive that same stretch sometimes, but I never stop for anyone. Not anymore. The memory sticks to me like the smell of rain on old pavement, faint but impossible to wash away. Sometimes I wonder if kindness really does change people, or if just once it changed the ending for me.
Four years ago, just before my last year of high school, my mom and I drove out to New Jersey to visit my aunt. We hadn't seen her in ages, and the afternoon at her place was all laughter, old stories, and the kind of warmth you only get with family. By the time we said our goodbyes, the sky had gone deep blue. It was just after 9 when we pulled away, the car headlights cutting through the quiet of the neighborhood. I remember thinking how peaceful it felt, almost too peaceful, as if the night was holding its breath. We merged onto the turnpike about 20 minutes later. The highway felt endless, just a ribbon of lights and blacktop stretching into the dark. My mom kept one hand on the wheel and the other fiddling with the radio, humming along to old R&B songs. Half an hour in, my mom noticed the gas gauge dipping toward a quarter tank. She sighed, said we should stop at the next station. The highway signs glowed green and white, promising fuel and coffee somewhere up ahead. The gas station was one of those old ones, fluorescent lights buzzing, a faded sign over the pumps, the store windows smeared from years of rain and wind. There were only a couple of cars in the lot, their engines ticking in the cool air. We rolled down the window, and my mom asked the attendant to put $20 in. While he started the pump, I turned to her and asked if I could run in for a bottle of water. She handed me a few bills and asked if I could grab her a pack of gum, too. Inside, the store was brighter than I expected. Overhead lights humming, shelves stacked with snacks, the air heavy with the smell of coffee and something fried. I grabbed a bottle of water and the gum, then got stuck behind a couple of people waiting to pay. It took longer than I thought, 5 minutes, maybe more, before I made it out. The air outside felt colder, the lights harsher. I turned right, heading for our car,
when I noticed someone standing by my mom's window, talking to her. Suddenly, I heard my mom's voice, sharp, angry. She shouted at the man to get away from her. My heart jumped. I hurried up, closing the distance, ready to yell if I had to. I got right in his face, demanding to know what he was doing. He looked sickly, late 30s, Yankees shirt, black shorts, dark eyes that didn't seem to settle anywhere, messy mustache. He stammered, saying it was all a misunderstanding, that he deserved a second chance. I threatened him, voice shaking but loud. The man's face twisted. He backed away, mumbling apologies, then sprinted for his car across the lot. He peeled out, tires squealing, vanishing into the darkness at the edge of the property. I slid into the passenger seat, still breathing hard, and asked my mom what happened. She looked rattled, but tried to keep her voice steady. She said the man had come up asking for directions to Jersey City, but then started complimenting her, pushing past every boundary. She told me he'd insisted she was beautiful, even after she pointed to her wedding ring. He started rambling about how he could tell she was in an abusive marriage, how he could treat her right. Then he said things, disgusting things, about what he wanted to do to her. She'd screamed at him, and that's when I came out. We tried to shake it off as we pulled out of the lot, the car's headlights carving a path back toward the turnpike. I tried to focus on the road, on anything but the tremor in my hands. About 30 minutes later, I glanced into the side mirror. There was a black car behind us, headlights steady, never passing, never falling back. I told my mom, and she said she'd noticed it too, said it had been tailing us for at least 10 minutes. She kept her voice low, said she'd get off at the next exit and try to lose him. I could see her knuckles white on the steering wheel. The highway signs blurred past, the world outside shrinking to just us, and that car in the mirror. We took the exit, the turn signal clicking like a metronome. My mom started weaving through side streets, making quick turns, doubling back. The black car followed, matching every move, never more than 2 car lengths behind. For 5 minutes, we darted through unfamiliar blocks, the world outside, a blur of streetlights and empty storefronts. The car kept coming, relentless, like it was tied to us by some invisible thread. My mom sped through an intersection just as the light turned yellow. The black car tried to follow, but a line of cross traffic forced it to stop. I watched in the mirror as its headlights vanished behind a wall of moving cars. My mom took the chance. She turned down a side street and ducked into a McDonald's parking lot, pulling behind the building where it was dark and empty. She shut off the engine. We sat in silence, both of us straining to hear anything over the thudding in our chests. 10 minutes passed. Every little noise felt huge. The hum of the fridge inside, the rattle of a dumpster lid, a distant siren. I kept checking the mirrors, half expecting those headlights to swing around the corner. Finally, my mom started the car again, whispering that we'd waited long enough. We pulled out, keeping to side streets, then turned onto a road that would take us back to the highway. The street was empty, washed in pale orange light. Not even a minute later, a car barreled toward us from the distance. Black, headlights glaring. It was him. The same car, the same relentless speed, closing in fast. We were both on edge, panic crawling up my spine, when suddenly, red and blue lights flashed up ahead. A siren wailed, growing louder. A police cruiser shot past us, chasing the black car as it sped by, the engine roaring. We sat in stunned silence, watching the lights fade into the distance. My mom let out a shaky breath, and I realized I'd been holding mine. We turned back onto the highway, the world outside finally feeling just a little bit safer. The rest of the drive was quiet. My mom kept her eyes on the road, and I watched the world slide by in the side mirror, half expecting to see headlights that never came. We made it home without another incident, but the feeling of being watched lingered, heavy in the air. We didn't talk much once we got inside. The house felt different, quiet, but not in a bad way. I lay awake for a long time, listening to the hum of the fridge and the distant traffic, thinking about how quickly a normal night can turn into something that sticks with you long after the lights go out.